What's up, everybody? Demon back, and welcome to the what is this, third episode of Godzilla Q&A? Now we have a question from giganfan02. He asks, since Shin Godzilla had a very Showa feeling to it, with themes, sound effects, etc., do you think the sequel to Shin Godzilla, if it gets one, will be more in the style of the Heisei movies with themes and sound effects? Now, personally, I don't think so. I think that if they are going to do a sequel to Shin Godzilla, let's be honest, they are. But I don't think it'll be in the vein of the Heisei series. I think it will still be that Showa feeling, Showa sound effects, music, so on. Would I like to see the Heisei? Oh yes, I would prefer the next movie to use sound effects, roars, music from the Heisei series, because that is pretty much the peak for Godzilla in my opinion. I think that is where, as a series in general, that was where it was at its peak. Now, I still love everything else. I love the Showa series. I absolutely do. Millennium, I don't prefer the Millennium. That is my least favorite Godzilla series. I would love to have the sound effects and roars and music brought back in. Now, do I think they're going to do it? No, I just think they're going to personally stick with Showa. Although you never know, because the movie did end with Godzilla using the 84 roar, so it could go either way. Now there's a question from Zaheer Shaikh. I hope I pronounced your name right. Sorry if I didn't. And he asks, here's a very interesting question from me, D-Man1954. How would you design your own Godzilla with an original roar and abilities? Now, this is cool. I mean, how would I design my own Godzilla? I really like what Shin Godzilla somewhat did. Now, is Shin Godzilla my favorite design of Godzilla? No. I think there was many missteps taken with that design. I think it would be cool to see a more healed up version of Godzilla from that movie. In terms of roar, I would almost make it a lot like the 54 roar, but modernized. I would modernize the roar. Abilities, I would keep it just straight up atomic breath. That's all Godzilla needs. That is all he ever needed. The look of Godzilla that I'd go for would be something very menacing. Like I said, what Shin Godzilla tried to do, but he didn't evolve into that state yet. I would go with like a no rips and tears, just a solid monstrous form. I mean, he wouldn't be deformed really. He wouldn't need to be. He'd just need to be menacing. He'd need to be a scarier version of Godzilla than we've ever seen. You know, tail length, that could just be like standard, like mostly short compared to Shin Godzilla, but like your Heisei length, whatever. But other than that, like eyes, they would be normal sized eyes, not beady small and not massive like Showa. Teeth would be normal, not like sticking out of everywhere like Shin Godzilla. It would just be I don't know how to describe it, a menacing version of Godzilla. That's honestly the best way I can do it. And origins, what would his origins be? He would have always been Godzilla. He would have been Godzilla from the start. He would have terrorized some sort of Odo Island. He would have terrorized some sort of islanders. There'd be legends and myths about him. He would one day show up and he would cause trouble. Now here is the last question for the day, and this one comes from BADassRECLAIMER. He asks, what's your favorite Godzilla video game? And another question he asked was, would you like to see a new Varen movie? So I'm going to take this one in parts, because obviously it's two questions. The first part, what's your favorite Godzilla video game? Godzilla 2014, not the movie video game, but the PS4 game. I really liked that game. A lot of people hated it. I thought it was fun. I had hours and hours of entertainment from it. Although what I would do personally is I would always turn down the game music, turn up the sound effects, and then on my phone I would play some old classic music. I had the Ifukube 100 downloaded, so they are the orchestra that played at G-Fest for the 50th anniversary. They played or the 60th anniversary. They played a bunch of the music that Ifukube made. I had that downloaded on my phone when I was really into this game. I would turn up sound effects. I changed my settings so that they spoke Japanese instead of English, and then I would turn on the Ifukube 100 playing the Godzilla music. It would really get me in the mood, and I had so much fun playing that game. I still love that game. It's a ton of fun. And when you play it, when you're in the right mood, you got the right music, you got the right, setting. It's great. It is just absolutely, it's a fun time, and I love the game. Now, for the question, would you like to see another Varen movie? Absolutely. Varen the Unbelievable, although it would have to be done like Varen the Unbelievable, just better. Now, Varen the Unbelievable was not necessarily a great movie. It was kind of boring, pretty dull in terms of, your Godzilla movies, or like your Showa series from Toho, because Godzilla wasn't in that movie. But, the music in that movie is really what helped it. Do I think they could accomplish the same effect that they can nowadays? The music nowadays in Godzilla movies is okay. Shin Godzilla had a phenomenal soundtrack, but that was amplified by the use of Ifukube's music. Whereas 2014, I think the music, although it was okay, kind of fell flat in a lot of aspects, and especially because it had a lack of 54, and especially because it had a lack of Ifukube music. Now, Varan's theme is just absolutely amazing, and they would have to use that again if they were going to do a remake. Other than that, though, really specifications for a Varen movie, just keep the monster the same, because it's an awesome monster. Like, this crazy, crawls on all fours, got these, he can fly. He's a really awesome monster. Cool design, the horns. I like Varen a lot. I would love to see him come back in a modern incarnation, and I would love for it to be taken seriously like Shin Godzilla was, and I would love for the music to really be in the same vein as Ifukube's music, just because that is what made that movie so great. The special effects were amazing for the movie, but the music really helped, and that is what I'd worry about, is although I would like to see a new Varen movie, without the music, I'm not sure it could work as well as the original did. Now, that's pretty much it for the Q&A. Just one final announcement. If you guys are going to leave questions for the Q&A from now on, could you make sure you put Q&A at the start of your question? So when you comment down below, put Q&A followed by your question. That way it makes it really easy for me to just Control F, type Q&A, find your questions. That way I can write them down for next time. And keep in mind, I'm not going to take everyone's questions, just the ones that I find that are good enough to be used in a video, as well as questions that are interesting and stuff like that. So if I don't use you, don't feel bad. It's not like I'm against you. It's just I have gotten a lot of questions that I want to use, and I do want to get as many as I can. Also, it's going to take me a while to get to your new questions, just because I have a really long list of Q&A questions already. So make sure you leave questions down below. It can be on any topics: Walking Dead, Godzilla, Gamera, King Kong, whatever you want. Leave your questions down below, and I'll write them down, categorize them later, and then it'll be a fun time when we get to it. So I do this a lot, and I do this a lot. It's weird. I don't get it. It'll be a fun time when I get to it. So thank you guys all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. See you guys next time. D-Man out.